begin our journey on the desert planet of Tatooine, where Jabba the Hutt was a major figure. He controlled the bulk of the piracy, slavery, and trafficking in illegal goods that generated most of the planet's wealth. Often referred to as the Bloated One, he was also highly influential in the entire Outer Rim as one of the most powerful crime lords. The MMA guru has the monopoly on MMA YouTube. Showcasing his influence from the throne he sits upon, his hypocrisies and delusions have went unpunished for far too long. Guru's crimes have affected us all, from placing a bounty on Han Solo's head to keeping Princess Leia as a breeding slave. Salacious B. Crumb was a Kowakian monkey lizard who worked as a jester in the court of crime lord Jabba. Known for his shrill laughter, Crumb kept his master amused until his death during the rescue of Han Solo. Salacious B. Crumb is EBT MMA, a jealous, bitter rodent that cannot stand the ones who surpass him. A man whose entire livelihood relied on the validation and respect of a single man.
You know what wheelchairs you're in? You're on video saying that you fucked a 14-year-old whilst you were 18. You're permabanned from the channel. Your counter-slander is all there is.
Only a small stretch of sand away, in the port city of Mos Espa, we meet Watto, a Toydarian junk dealer and human trafficker. He was the owner of slaves Shmi and her son Anakin Skywalker. Watto started his life as a soldier on Toydaria. However, he left after suffering an injury and went to Tatooine, where he watched Jawas sell used goods and decided to start his own business. We all know the saying, Toydarians are everywhere but Toydaria. Lost Soul MMA is Watto. Aside from the striking physical resemblance, they share a slothful and covetous nature. Han Solo, once a young man fighting for survival on the mean streets of Corellia, the man yearned to fly among the stars with dreams of becoming the galaxy's best pilot. Han Solo became legendary across the galaxy as both a smuggler and war hero of the rebellion. If you haven't guessed it already, Rigo is Han Solo. The quirked up Rigo-chan Solo embodies the tongue-in-cheek playboy so well, it caused Guru to essentially place a character assassination bounty on Rigo's head, which forced Rigo to lead the rebellion against the MMA guru, and in the process fall in love with Princess Leia.
I'm out of it for a little while. Everyone gets delusions of grandeur.
Leia was the sister of Luke Skywalker. Also born into unfortunate circumstances, her heavily pregnant mother, the Naboo senator Padme Amidala, had suffered a forced choke by her husband Anakin on Mustafar. After naming her children Luke and Leia, she sadly passed away. This is very telling and explains where Fight Fairy's deep-rooted love for choking comes from. Just like Leia, she appears to be the only woman in the galaxy, falling in love with none other than Han Solo. Soon after the Battle of Endor, they married and conceived their son, Ben Solo. During her pregnancy, the Force-sensitive Leia could sense her son through the Force and felt both the light side and the dark within him. Ben Solo was prone to crying as an infant, particularly in the first months of his life, and had difficulty falling asleep. He would settle to sleep when he was held by his father. After many long battles within, he found himself swaying towards the dark side, changing his name to Kylo Ren. As a product of Jedi and Sith teachings, he started to become more unstable. Eagle MMA seems to be going down a similar path and struggles with consistency. We need to save him from becoming a forgotten character in some terrible sequel. Logray was an Ewok. Ewoks were a diminutive, primitive species of furry bipeds native to the forest moon of Endor. Known specifically for his albino-like tan colours, Logray was the Ewok that thought C-3PO was a god and ordered the others to be cooked as a sacrifice. He was then deceived by a simple Jedi mind trick and then was hesitant to defend his land against invaders. Ewoks range from 3 to 4 feet tall, rarely surpassing 1 meter in height. Omnivorous by nature, they were covered in fur from head to toe. Despite their small size, Ewoks were physically strong enough to overpower combat-trained humans. This is exactly why Lucas Tracy is always talking about his combat skills. Just like Ewoks, he is well used to using guerrilla warfare and sneaky tactics to improve his chances. Not to mention the clear similarities in genetic makeup, these little guys will always give me a chuckle. Dexter Jetster was the owner of Dex's Diner. Serving mostly hard workers from the area, the diner offered home-style cooked meals and freshly brewed RDs, or Jawa juice. Dexter was a real one, and so is Gnome Chad. If a Force-sensitive Jedi is ever in need of spiritual guidance or modern-day philosophies, they always drop into a Gnome Truthing USA livestream, or as I like to call it, Dex's Diner. Lando Calrissian was a professional gambler, entrepreneur, smuggler, and general throughout various points of his life. What's another word for gambler? Better. Better MMA embodies Lando Calrissian more than you may think. A resident of Cloud City, this man is always indulging. He's a smooth talker with a welcoming charm. However, behind the shades, there is a money-making machine. And just like Lando, he's not afraid to stab his good friend Han Solo in the back. It's a tale as old as time. Jango Fett was a famed Mandalorian bounty hunter and the original template of clone troopers. Known as the best bounty hunter in the galaxy, Fett was proficient in marksmanship as well as unarmed combat. Shortly after the invasion of Naboo, Jango Fett was hired to serve as the genetic foundation of an army secretly bred on Kamino. His DNA spawned millions of clone troopers who shared his face, voice, and were trained to become soldiers. This is the exact same scenario we see with Bedtime MMA and his army of faceless Australian MMA YouTuber clones. For the most part, we never see Bedtime's face, and his accent is suspiciously similar to Jango Fett's. He has permanently plagued MMA YouTube with his offspring, and I will never forget that. But at least he is actually trained in hand-to-hand combat, just like Jango. What's happening, boys? It's Mogwonk Zerg. Hope you all enjoyed this video. There's plenty more like this coming soon. Make sure to stay tuned. See yous.